Yes, guys! Welcome back to another episode of the Bootcast Podcast. Matt, Colby, I had to interrupt you because this is my intro, okay? This is what I do. It's my moment to shine. But no, I'm just kidding. Welcome back, guys. It's been another crazy week, as always. Colby, man, how you doing today?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Finally, dude. Alpha Watch is over. I got him.
Let's go.
I got him. Played him yesterday for 2 hours. It was incredible. I did not have to change boots. Got like one. Sorry, I'm jumping right into this. Got one hot spot, like right here.
Yep.
But it is not too much lockdown. It is fantastic.
I'm sorry.
Where?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, me and Matt are both like,
On the
top of the toe.
So I got a little blister.
Toe.
Yeah, top of the toe. Got a little blister right here. But I think that's just because that's where I strike the ball. So, and like it's so cool, dude. Your foot does not move in these at all. But I love them.
What socks were you wearing?
I was wearing True Socks actually because I did my video real quick with my wife.
Yeah.
And then like later on that day, I headed to the field, the really crappy Texas, dirt field that we play on.
Word.
Nice.
All right, we're gonna come back to that. So just hold all those mental notes. We're glad that Alpha Watch is officially over. Matt, how are you doing today, sir?
I am doing great. I had a nice long weekend of doing absolutely nothing but relaxing.
Yes.
So can't complain about that. Nice having a weekend off. But yeah.
Dude, I love to hear it. Yeah, sometimes those kind of days are needed where it's just existing is like the max you're doing.
Yes, exactly.
Love it. Nobody's gonna
Justin,
ask me.
how are you doing?
Thank you.
No.
Thank you. I'm doing great,
Yeah.
man. We had our first Dad Bods game this past Friday. We won.
Nice.
My mustache was a shock to many of my teammates because they haven't seen it. I'll update you, but yeah, wore the Pred Manias. I put a poll out. It won. And then I finished the game in the Copa Pure 3 laceless. So again, something else we can talk about as the show goes on. But
How many boot changes did you make in between those two boots?
No, just the two.
Right.
Now I brought like 7 pairs, but I just wore the 2, and I only switched
Brought
because
7.
Not lit. How many did I bring? I think I brought 4 or 5. Anyways, but I only changed because like my feet were really starting to like hurt, and like I said, we'll get into it as it goes. But there's other things I want to talk about before we get into mine. So let's get into this today. Now, we've had a lot of releases, we've had a lot of leaks, we've had a lot of boot spottings, but the thing that I have not spotted yet is y'all's jersey picks this week. Matt, lead us off. What is your jersey for today's episode?
All right. My jersey pick for today's episode is going to be the Bayern Munich 17-18 third kit.
Okay, let's see this one. Third kit.
Oh, nice.
The baseball look.
Yeah, like the
this
stripes.
was cool.
Little pinstripe action.
Yeah. And I like how it's not like all the way. Like it's just like they kind of fade out.
Just fades out. Yeah.
Yeah, not bad at all.
I don't remember this kit at all, but I like this one.
Neither did I. Yeah, my girlfriend picked this one for me this week, and she just like gave me a year, and I just said home away third, and she just said third kit, and I was just like,
let's go.
dang, kind of a banger.
Let's
I was
go,
like, all right.
girlfriend. Woohoo.
Yeah.
All right, Colby. So back to this jersey. We've had technical difficulties. What about this kit? Is it just something different? Is that what you like it? Does it have a meaning?
This is I think this is like the famous, like kind of, it's like the tail end of like Liverpool's reign. It's like just before they kind of stopped winning everything. This is, I think, like the Stevie Nicol, John Barnes, like era, like kind of like on those guys' way out. So,
Okay.
Yeah, bro. Just like super. It's just a kit that everybody remembers. Like if you're a Liverpool fan, like this is one obviously older than me, but yeah, one that keeps popping up.
No, this is awesome. I like this one.
Good pick.
Yeah, definitely cool retro kit. I went for Lazio 82-83 home kit. So this one's like got a collar. It's white on top, like baby blue on the bottom, and it's got like the big eagle, like the Lazio eagle coming across, and it like
the
wings
they made this as a remake.
Yeah, like
right?
2015. Yeah.
Oh, this is so
What is
nice.
that?
I have no
It's an
idea.
eagle. It is an eagle.
Yeah, and then like the brand is like NR, but it's spelled like ENNERR or something like that. I've never heard of any of this. I just thought it was a crazy cool, like beachy, old man on the beach in Miami kind of shirt. So let's kind of get into it. Now, where do we want to start? Do we want to start with good-looking boots, or do we want to start out with ugly boots? Those are your only options. I'm gonna let the two of you decide.
Let's go ugly boots first.
Yeah,
we're gonna go ugly. That. Okay, let's start out with Adidas new pack. You know, it's what, March 2nd, and they've come out with their 5th pack of the year, the Mystic Victory. Now, we got a highlighter yellow Copa that, if you didn't know it was a Copa, has Copa written real big across it, right?
Just in case, if you forgot, yeah.
Yeah, and then they looked back at the Predator 24, and they said, which Predator did everybody love? And naturally, it was the Generation Pred. So they've done an even worse version of that, where it's like an uglier green, way more cheetah, and Predator written horribly on the side.
In case you forgot, yep.
Yeah, in case you don't know what boots you're wearing, you can see it, and then that way everybody knows. Like, oh my God, look at that guy run by, he's wearing Predators. I saw it. And then the last one is the F50, which to me arguably is... It's like the most okay, I think, out of the three. Like, I think it goes with what the F50 vibe is.
Right,
but we've seen it on Heung-min Son's boots from the Crazy Fast generation. We've seen it on that Puma Future. I think it was like the last generation Puma Future. So we've kind of seen this colorway before. And again, it has F50 written on it in case we forgot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they're god awful. Everybody who I've talked to thinks they're god awful. Now I just need to know what you guys think.
I don't know what they're thinking, man. I don't know how Adidas could like confidently put this out to the public and say, here you go, guys, nothing weird to see here, you know? Like it's one of those, like, this is a total like Nike move. It's like, how could you put this out? Like, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Like, even the F50, I'm like, this is so subpar. Like, I don't know. I can't believe they did it.
Yeah, these are so bad that when I woke up the morning that these were released and I went to make a story about them, all I was saying, I literally just I was sharing Adidas's post, and then I was just saying like ugly, uglier, ugliest out of the three, and it literally popped up a notification on Instagram saying posts like this have been getting reported. Do you still want to post? And I'm like,
get you, Matt.
This was like 8 a.m. and I'm just like, oh my God.
Wow.
Like, people are already shitting on this boot so hard, or this pack so hard, that I'm getting a pop-up warning for my post. So
can you imagine that? Like, you're like, hey, this pack's ugly, and Adidas like, no! Get that out of here, man. We love our
have bad taste.
Well, it was crazy because you could tell even like the retailers are like, so this is different, or like this is unique, or it's just like they were just trying to find ways not to call it ugly.
Yeah, and it's not like this is like the redheaded stepchild. This is like the feral cat that's like come out of the sewers once every blue moon, and it's got mange and missing a couple eyes. Like this is just bad. This is bad. And I don't think there's another word to put. Like, I can't be like, oh, it's not for me. Like, I haven't talked to anybody who's like, yeah, I actually like these. Or like, yeah, they're okay. I could wear it. Like, it's like, no. It's just no. That's it.
Yeah. I think the Copa could have been cool, and then they just completely ruined it by just saying, you know what? Write Copa on the side.
Right. Yeah. That was...
It's like, God, if they just took the names off, I think it would be better.
I agree. I do agree. I think it would have been cooler if, like... I don't know, if they would have made it do something like stupid that nobody would use, but like glow in the dark. Then I'd been like, oh, at least it's like kind of different. Like,
that's kind of cool.
You know, they put something in it, and that's why it has to be these like horrible shades of yellow and green. But it's just like, these are just, they're just horrible. There's no other way I can say anything.
I wish they had left the Copa all like neon green, like they had taken like the black parts off. I want to say they did like a Copa 20 and like a neon green like that. I can't remember.
Yes.
I remember there was a Copa 18 that was like this. That was lime green, I think, with...
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
20 and 20.1 were like this color. And it worked because the whole thing was like this color green.
Yeah.
Word. So safe to say nobody on this podcast is a fan.
No.
No.
All right. So if this was Survivor, they'd be getting off the island. Now let's keep moving on. Another brand that has released yet another pack is the Puma Forever pack. Now, Colby, you mentioned this one, but I don't know which. Is this the ransom note boots? Is that what this one is?
Yeah.
But
okay,
the future one.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
The
So
Riddler,
again,
yeah.
I kind of want to hear y'all's thoughts on these. Where y'all sit? Matt, you start us off with this one. Where are you kind of feeling with these three?
These are out there, but I kind of think it's like the good side of out there. They're different. We haven't really seen them before, with the exception of the King. I feel like the King, design wise, reminds me of that like Alpine pack that Unisport released last year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I don't think that's the actual name of it, but whatever.
Is that the King of the Mountain one or whatever? Know Your Mountain?
Yeah.
Something
Conquer
like
Your
that.
Mountain.
Yeah.
Conquer Your Mountain. Thank you. That was Colby's favorite pack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that one kind of reminds me of that, but the future actually looks, I think, really good. Even though it's a dog shit boot, but I do like the half blue, half white look, and like I like, even though it's kind of like a ransom note, that Puma is kind of like spelled out that way.
Yeah.
And then the Ultra, I really like the Ultra.
Okay.
I think the purple and the white, like, kind of blocking works. I think it looks good. I like the crazy sole plate. Like, they just went for it.
Dope, dude.
And it looks sick. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Colby, where are you kind of at with this
I
one?
love this pack, man. Like, this is the best pack they've released so far. Like, it is that good. It just sucks that, like, 2 out of the 3 boots are terrible.
Yeah.
It's ironic because it's like one of those questions of like, would you want to look really good in a bad boot like the Future 8, or would you want to wear like a good boot like the Predator, but it'd be the worst colorway of the Predator? It's like,
for sure.
It's such a paradoxical scenario we're in this week.
Yeah. I'm kind of like on board with you guys. Like, I think that the Future looks the coolest. You know, with the different fonts, I like that overall. But I think the best, like, overall concept and colors wise and everything is the Ultra. Like you said, I think that sole plate is just so freaking out there and gnarly. So yeah, no, I did like these. I have to give Puma their flowers, and I think they deserve it. And it's like, even though your boots are bad, your colorway pack is pretty good.
Yeah.
You know? So, all right, well, that didn't last as long as I thought it was gonna.
Boots bad, boots good.
Yeah. It's like thumbs up, thumbs down. We're gonna keep going. Now, we recently spotted Mr. Declan Rice wearing a very interesting colorway of the Copa Pure 3. Now, he has been a longtime fan of the Copa 19.1 and 20.1. And he was wearing a lot of camouflage boots, old school Neymar way. And then all of a sudden the Copa Pure 3 came out, and he switched to those. And now he has a solid white Copa Pure 3, black stripes on the side, and then a very interesting blue little pinstripe running down the center that looks like our boy, Mr. Charles Halt's favorite boot, the 11 Pro 3. Now, where are you guys thinking on this kind of modern boot with a retro colorway? Because we've seen Nike do it before, and it's been very tasteful. Are you guys feeling kind of the same way with this? You wish they would have done a different colorway?
I love it. I think it works. I think it's the perfect style of Copa to do it. Just because like the blue stripe down the middle, like the 3D stripes on the side, like it really works well. You've tested the LL dude, like that sole plate's pretty good.
Yeah.
So like I think I would rather have these, which is like an homage to that boot, rather than have like the Tony Cruz remake they made last year and the year prior.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, I think I agree. I also think, like, this just came to me. We've seen those leaked F50s. I know the leather remake, the black and yellow one that they're making, but there's also been leaked pictures of that yellow one on the current F50 like design and whatever. So I have a feeling that maybe this is a pack they're going to release, like each an F50, a Copa, and a Pred, all of past colorways, but on the new model of the boot. So
it's cool. It's
that's
like
my take.
Nike DNA style type.
Essentially.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what the Moments Pred is part of, and we just don't know it. You know what I mean? Like
maybe
it's like homages to certain people in certain times, and that's why they've gone with the. I mean, because Tony Cruz wore them a little bit, but he mainly wore the 11 Pro 2. But yeah, that I haven't seen the F50. I've seen the remakes, but I am curious to see now that you've said that if that's kind of like they're all individual, but then like it'll be like the Inspired by pack, and it's all three of those.
Yeah,
that's a good shout, Matt. I didn't even think about that. That's great. Now,
I literally just thought about it. So
okay, so here's my question to you. So we like this current boot classic colorway, right? I think we're all on board if it works. Okay. Now, if they also at the same time release the 11 Pro 3, not the 2, but the 3 as a remake, are we on board with that? Are we not on board with that? Like, where I know you guys don't have like the remake bug like I do, but like if you saw an 11 Pro 3, right? And let's say it has this Copa's sole plate, what are you going to go more that way, or would you go with the Pure 3? Jesus, names are getting so confusing.
I'd go Pure 3 because of like the remakes as of recent. Like they did this last summer with the Japan Blue remakes, where they did like the MIG version, and then they did like the actual 24 version.
Yeah,
and I think I would just go modern at this point.
Okay,
just because I know what I'm getting there. Like with remakes, it's like it's a toss up.
So the King of Boots were better back then.
The what?
The modern boot. I said the King of that boots were better back then. What's the modern one? Okay, interesting. Matt, do you kind of lean either way?
I think I'm going to agree with Colby. Adidas's remakes recently just had not been on par with the ones in the past few years, and specifically around the Copa line too. The Tony Cruz ones were not the best from what I've heard, so I would probably lean towards the Pure 3s.
Okay. I think that this, for me personally, I don't think you can go wrong either way. So I think if they do the 11 Pro 3, but on the current Copa sole plate, I think that's a phenomenal boot. I think the 3 was a good boot. And I think if you go with the Copa Pure 3 with that classic colorway, I think that's a phenomenal boot. So I really don't, in my opinion, it's going to be like, yeah, what do you want? Like the like elasticated tongue, or you want like a floating tongue? You know, it's going to be kind of your difference overall. But yeah, I love it. I love the colorway. I think they picked a really good, clean colorway to do this Inspired by boot.
Yeah.
Now, while we're on the subject of Inspired by boots, Nike, as of recording, like 12 hours ago, released another Vapor 1 in the, what's the actual color?
Dark Cinder.
Dark Cinder. Okay. So Dark Cinder, and it is supposed to be the CR7 Origins. So it has the date of Ronaldo's first game for Sporting Lisbon. Now, before I give my opinions as the Ronaldo fanboy, I feel like I need to give you guys the layup. Go ahead and y'all talk first, and then I'm going to say my piece on this boot.
I mean, we've known this boot was coming, for a little while now. And the big question around them, I mean, it's a great looking colorway. It's a great looking boot, but we all know kind of what the elephant in the room, big flaw is massive heel opening, right? So it seems like obviously they didn't have time to fix it. I have to, you have to give Nike credit in the fact that like it's too late to fix it. I guess you don't have to give them credit, but they know they're going to sell this boot no matter what, right? So they're like, whatever, we're just going to release it. So I think we have to see like, are they going to make any more Vapor 1 remakes where they actually, clean this up? But I don't know. Matt?
I mean, yeah, I feel the same way. I like this color. I liked it. Personally, I like it more than the silver ones that came out. But, I mean, at the end of the day, that heel is just ugly. And it's not the same. And I honestly think at the time of recording this, it's been now, over 12 hours since they came out. There's still full-size runs at most retailers, so I think the public feels the same way. So I don't know.
Do you think that if this would have been the first one instead of the Chrome, that it would have sold out better? And then maybe if the Chrome came second, the Chrome wouldn't have sold out as well?
No,
really?
No, I think going with the Chrome was probably the best move to start with, just because that's the Vapor 2, right? Or is it Vapor 1?
Same
Still
one.
Vapor 1, yeah.
Vapor 1, my bad. I think it's just the most, notable colorway that was for that boot. So I think they had to start with that.
That's fair. Okay, so my thoughts kind of on this are like, who cares, man? Like honestly, like who cares? Like this would be super cool. Like to me, this boot would have been super cool. I think J Mike might have even said this in his review. And like because Ronaldo's the only person wearing this, it's a boot for him. If he would have wore this on his last game, like he's like, I'm officially done. This is my final game. Okay, boom. Here's the boots that you kind of like a reimagining of the boot you started in. That's a cool story. But it's like other than that, like who gives a shit? Like it's a really boring colorway. I don't think it's bad. It's boring. And like I told you earlier, like it's supposed to be a CR7 boot, but it doesn't like really scream CR7 to me in terms of like when I think of the Vapor 1 through 3, it's R9. That's who I think of. That's who I think of wearing those Vapors. And I think of Cristiano from Vapor 4 onwards. Okay? So there's already where I'm kind of like, you kind of fumbled that. And then number 2, like he has like a lot of more brighter colorways and a lot like think of like the Galaxy colorway, the
Safaris.
The Safaris. I know that they're horrible, but they're loud. The pinstripes. Like this is just and even like when he had the Gala boots, they had like that cool sparkle effect to them. So like even on a boring colorway, like it's something flashy. Like again, it's not a bad boot, but it's just kind of like who cares?
Yeah. It almost seemed like they made the boot and then did the CR7 Origins thing later. They're like, we need a story. What can we do? Who wore them?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree with Justin. I agree. I watched J Mike's review. He does kind of go into details like, hey, like if they would have made this his like going out boot, like that would have been sick. I think that would have been probably the best way to, especially with the silver ones doing so poorly, coming back, doing this the way like people would expect with the CR7, like going out and then also have it limited to the amount of goals he's scored in his career or something like that. Like that would be cool. There would be like a reason to get it outside of just getting it to be like a boot that you're wearing cool. And shit. So
and it's weird that the silver one was super limited, but this one doesn't seem to be individually numbered or anything.
No, it doesn't have like the tag that the silver ones seem to have. So
it'll be interesting because they said that he's the only one who gets to wear this boot, but we all know he's pretty particular with his boots, and like he pulled the freaking like Mad Ambition or whatever the heck they were called, the blue ones, back out after a while. He's cut his own boots. Like say he puts these on, like I know they're gonna fit his heel properly, but he's like, dude, I don't like this Fly Touch Plus. Like I wonder how much he's actually going to wear these for Nike. Is it going to be like for half a game?
Yep, that's what it's going to be. Because
probably
wasn't it Vinny that did that too recently? Didn't Vinny wear
the
like
silver ones?
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wore it for like a half. And it's like, okay, I did my part. Like I'm done.
Right. Yeah. Give me back my regular boots so I can start.
Yeah.
And Ronaldo, he's pretty anal about changing boots. Like he does not like to change boots.
Right.
Yeah. I wonder how customized they're going to be. Like if they're just gonna look like them and then be like a Vapor 16.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a pretty freakish foot. Like I've seen like his boot and it's like very custom to his foot.
Yeah. And I wonder if his heel is gonna be as, crazy wide as the actual retail one.
What if that
Probably
was
not.
his heel? They're like, this is the exact specifications. Yeah. They just put his foot in all of them. They're like, all right, boom, there you go.
Jesus.
No, yeah. So again, like even as a CR7 fanboy, like whatever. I said like if you asked me like, all right, Justin, on his like final boot, which one do you want him to go out with? I think the coolest remake would be, I don't even remember which one it was, maybe the 6 or the 7, but whatever orange ones he races the Bugatti in. You guys remember that ad?
Yeah.
I'm what a way to go. Just that's like the final commercial, him running against a Bugatti. Like that started it all. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. All right, let's keep going. Because, again, I haven't forgotten about y'all's boots. I want to talk about them. Colby today spotted the new, what's unofficially called the Nike Phantom 360.
360, baby.
I don't remember the female player wearing it off the top of my head. I apologize.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But where are we at? What are we thinking, boys? Because I'm going to start this one off. this is sexy. I love this boot. It reminds me of the Phantom Venom, but like kind of with a collar, and I loved the Venom. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, see, I was thinking kind of like Phantom, like Vision, like almost like DF. I don't know if it's going to be like DFE. It looks like the laces are exposed here. I'm checking out a picture over here on my other screen. It looks like they've tapered down the raised pieces of the grip elements. I wonder if they're just going for like a low layer of grip knit. So that'll be interesting. And it'll be interesting if they do like, because everybody said the GX2 kind of has a more grippy grip knit feel than what's on the current Mercs. So I wonder if they'll taper that back, because it's been, I mean, not that it affects the functionality of the boot at all, but anything with grip knit on it has just become incredibly dirty after a few wears. So I wonder if they'll taper it back a little bit.
Okay, I like to hear that. Now, I didn't wear the GX2s that long. Which was grippier, Cole? Because you wore both, the GX1 or the GX2? Or could you really tell?
It's hard to tell, but like GX2 was super grippy, dude.
Okay.
It was weird. Like I think I was telling you this when I first got them. I was like, it's something you have to get used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember. All right, Matt, what are you thinking about these whiteout Phantom 360s?
I'm gonna be honest. I think they look like the Vapor 16.
Okay.
And to be honest, the pictures are kind of not great
they're
far that we've seen. I feel like I don't have a opinion yet of these until I see more pictures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, something I want to address is with the name Phantom 360. It sounds like Nike is going to keep leading into what is the sole plate called? 360 Cyclone?
Cyclone 360.
Okay. So I'm a fan.
Stop it, Nike. Stop it.
The two of you aren't.
Please stop.
Now, the question that I want to ask you both is, why would Nike continue pursuing with this if genuinely, I would say 9 out of 10 people hate it? Because, we have Noah last week and he hated it. The two of you hated it. I actually really like it. So why do you think that Nike is still continuing to try to push this, even though it's like, this is a dud? You think so? You think too much R&D went into it?
Too much R&D. Yeah, I mean, look at this. They literally when they launched this on the Phantom Luna, the whole marketing campaign was around this sole plate being like safe.
Yes.
And then everyone that has, an ounce of, just soccer IQ when it comes to just like wearing your boots saw this sole plate and was like, no way that this is safe to wear on any pitch at all.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a general consensus. A lot of people just don't want to risk wearing this sole plate on turf. So I don't know. It's also like super flexible from what I've heard.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is like, it's not even like, safety's a big part of it, but like the sole plate itself isn't that great. Like even like the AG plate's not super, it's kind of more flexible too, but it's like, dude, just give us like a more solid sole plate. Like this is the 3rd generation. I'm trying to remember when the original GX1 came out. I think it was during that tournament. So it had to be 2022 because it was World Cup.
Yep. The very end of it.
Yeah, the very end. It was like in the quarters or the semis or something. So it's like, dude, come on. Like, it's 2025. Give us a new sole plate. Like, you can't. How much longer? And then they're Nike. And it's Nike, too. It's like, come on, dude. Like, y'all are supposed to be the people that change, like, all the time. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand this logic.
I think, honestly, like, just like a small tweak that would make this sole plate better is the back part. So, like, not the Cyclone whatever in the toe box. Everything back, they should have done more conical studs. At least the two right behind the whatever Cyclone part, just to give a little bit more, of a neutral feel. Because the ones in the heel are fine, like that's for like planning and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like to just do all blades and then call it like safe, it was just a mistake. I don't know.
I'd be curious to see what the next evolution of it is, because I don't hate that sole plate. I think it is very comfortable, but I wondered too with like the whole flexibility between the GX1 sole plate and then the Luna, is because so many pros use that carbon fiber shank. I wonder if Nike kind of not that they overthink it, but like they didn't really plan for not having that rigidity on like everybody else's boots. They're like, just give it a harder plastic, it'll be okay. And so I think that like, yeah, when it's like just like two ideas just come, they don't like mesh well, and it's just kind of friction. So I wonder if that's why like the GX1, even the AG and the FG as well as the Luna just have like a weird like flex points, because it was designed with the sole intent of having that carbon fiber. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just, it's so weird. Like, because they have to have heard this by now. And, like, this is kind of the claim that we've made to Nike overall, is that their sole plates seem like they're getting, like, thinner, more flimsy, cheaper. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like, you guys have to reverse course at some point. Like, you can't keep putting this kind of stuff out. And like, we don't officially know that that's what this is. It could be, like, an amazing sole plate. Like, we don't even know. But we'll see, man. Like, the trajectory that Nike's been going on has been very questionable the last couple of years. So we'll see.
Yeah. And I mean, part of me was wondering too, is like the reason that, same thing with the Tiempo. Like, they're not going to change it because like they don't care what people honestly want or think. They're going to do what they want to do, and basically can keep up with it until they can convince us that, basically gaslight us into agreeing with them. So. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's move on to our final topic before we get into some personals. The Nike Elite Pack. We think that's the name. It's on the horizon. We've seen it. So we've got like it's like an iridescent, I think it's, what is it? Is it purple to blue mercurial?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. It's kind of got that cosmic speed shine, but I don't think it has like that coating. Then we have the Tiempo, which is like white and like a chrome red and like a red. Not an orange red or hyper like red, like blood red. And then the boot that I think that I know two out of the three of us, I think Matt might even be there. We have the Luna that's coming out, and it looks like the Pearl.
Yeah,
like same thing.
Looks like the Tiempo Pearl.
It's white base, that cool green chrome, and then even like the sole plate in the pictures I've seen has like that same kind of gradient effect. Where you guys heads at with this? Where are we thinking?
Me, like 5 seconds after bashing Nike. I love this pack, dude. It is so, like, all the boots. I love all of them.
Okay.
Like, I especially love the GX2s, but I think that's just because I love the way the Tiempo Pearls look. Yeah. And that's the one I would pick up. But, again, we were just talking about the Cyclone 360 sole plate. I think this Elite pack, I don't know if they're making any takedown models in these, so I don't know if they're going to make any AG versions of these, which would suck. For those that want this GX2 and like an AG, I don't know if you're going to get it. Or the Mercurial, for that matter.
Fair. Matt, where are you at? Where's your head?
Colby just took my whole thought process away. I feel exactly the same way. I think across the board, all three of these look very good. I think the Mercurial is actually the worst out of the three.
Yep.
I would probably go GX2, Tiempo, and then the Merc. But yeah, same thought as Colby. If they do release this in an AG, I might buy my first Nike boot in over a year, so that would be exciting.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling it's going to be limited to just FG.
I completely agree with both of you. I think it's going to be FG only. And it reminds me of, especially like we talked about the name, and I don't know if I said this on air, but that when Nike did that Elite pack before, it was like the wolf gray, the lime green, and the silver, only their top athletes got it. And I think it was only 11 total players wore all four silos. So it'd be really cool to see who makes the cut with the, like, if you guys, okay, this would be fun right now. If you had to pick one player for each silo that you could see wearing these, who are you going to go with?
Dude, VVD's got to wear the Tiempos. That like screams Liverpool. So he's got to wear those.
I can see that. I think Phil Foden wears the GX2.
Oh, good shot. And then I was going to say probably both Vinny and Mbappe will wear the Mercs.
Vapor and then Superfly. Yeah.
I don't know anybody who wears a DF GX2 to really give that a shout.
Yeah.
De Bruyne.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
But he's
always
wears it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that is a good.
He's getting old.
Oh, you know who also wears it? Chouameni.
Okay.
Chouameni wears the high cut GX2s. Now that I think about it, because he was a big Luna player. Okay, but anyway, so we're all in agreement. Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at us giving Nike some praises today. We're giving Puma some praises today, and then we pooped on Adidas. Like, who?
Yeah.
This is normally the Adidas podcast.
Yeah, not like us.
Yeah. It's the new year. Season 2 has been crazy so far. All right. Topics are done. Let's get into Alpha Watch. Matt, I'm gonna start with you. Sorry, Colby. I took your thunder. You got too excited.
You gotta wait, Colby. You gotta wait.
Now, Matt's been actively wearing the Alphas for a bit. So, Matt, I want to hear your thoughts. Tell me what's going on.
These might be boot of the year. These are that good.
Really?
Yeah. I've worn them twice, like 2 full sessions now. One was just training. The other one, I had like a little 7v7 game this past week. I scored 2 goals, should have had 3, had 2 assists. These are amazing. Honestly, I've never felt a boot with the sensation that this offers as far as lockdown goes.
Okay.
And the Zero Glide being throughout the entire upper now. So if you don't know, it's like the entire inside of the boot is Zero Glide. I've never had the sensation of like not moving even like a millimeter in a boot before. And that's what this offers. And it's kind of crazy how it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were playing on turf too, right?
Playing on turf, I don't find this sole plate to be dangerous on turf, which is like contrary to almost everything I've said up to this point. But I think it's just because the studs are so small. Like if you...
Yeah, little baby studs.
They're not that long, so... And there's more of them than like most FG plates. Most of them only have like 3 on each side. Okay. So you get like a few extra studs. For me, it was like that perfect balance of... that neutral pivoting feel, but also like the aggressive bite you get from like a speed boot. So
okay, now before I move to Colby, the only question I have for you is anything negative that you kind of report, even if it's something minimal besides the laces. Yeah, is there anything you're like, oh, I don't like this, or like I just wish this was a little different, or have you not even experienced that yet?
I think the only negative thing is still probably around the sizing.
Okay.
I think it has improved mostly around volume.
Okay.
I don't think so. If you're looking at these and you're like looking at reviews from other people that are out right now, if you had the Alpha 1, I would just go with whatever size you decided was more comfortable for the Alpha 1, because the length is exactly the same. The only thing you're going to get with the Alpha 2, different from the Alpha 1, is a little bit more volume in the toe box. So a little more height, and also a little bit more width.
Okay.
So if you did kind of go down that half a size and dealt with the tight kind of cramped feel to kind of get that more painted on sensation,
okay.
If you do that again, it's going to feel significantly more comfortable. It's probably going to feel closer to what the people that went true to size felt initially.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Very, very good words here. Now, Colby, it's been a long journey from Japan to I think Chicago, and then now to Texas. You have the Alphas. You were even so gassed you put out a reel. You made content, and I was I was so shocked. I was so proud. All right, you're glowing like a woman on her wedding. Tell me about these boots,
dude. Matt's totally right, dude. This is like boot of the year contender, like absolutely. It's like he explained it perfectly. Like your foot does not move in these. It is something that I feel like once you experience it, like once you've experienced that amount of lockdown, like it's going to be hard to go back to other boots after this. Mm-hmm. I love the sole plate. Like Matt was saying, like super like neutral style feel. And then what's cool, dude, is like whenever you start sprinting and you kind of get up on your toes, like on that Carvo plate, mm-hmm. like it gives you like you almost feel like it's hard to explain, but like, you know, like how sprinters kind of push off blocks or something. It's like there's something firm there that I can kind of, it gives me like a little extra oomph.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that. It's weird, dude. Like this sole plate, it's almost like, yeah, it's like neutral and kind of safe feeling. And then when you have to like make a sprint, it almost like digs into the ground, like enough to give you like really good takeoff. Like it's wild. And then like the touch, like, I was trying to explain it to my buddy because like he's a little bit more into boots. he kind of shows up and I'm in new boots like every time. He's like, oh, what are those? But I think this is what like I was expecting the F50 to be. I'm like, oh wow, this is like comfortable and like the responsiveness is incredible and like the sole plate is great. Like I literally have nothing bad to say about it other than if you do have a hot spot and your foot's not moving, it's impossible to kind of like adjust it in real time. Like I could feel, like I was telling you guys, like just because like I'm striking the ball like right here, like it was wearing on my toe a little bit, and I can't even like stand there and kind of move my foot back or anything to take the pressure off. It's just stuck.
Yeah.
So like that's the only negative thing I'd say about it. But honestly, dude, like I love these.
Okay. So you're both in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah, I will say, to go back to the sole plate, the Carvo, they did apparently thinning out the Carvo, so it's a little bit thinner than what it was on the Alpha 1, which was one of my only complaints. Was like I thought the sole plate was just too stiff for what the upper had to offer on the Alpha 1.
Okay.
So just that little tweak they made like a world of difference for me. This went from like a sole plate I didn't like that much to just like one of my favorite sole plates currently available.
What's crazy to me too is like it's like 2 millimeters difference, right? So
Yeah,
it's like something like it's so minimal. But it's crazy how like that fine-tuned number can like drastically, like you said, go from something like I don't really care for it, but I can deal to like I love this.
Yeah. And in my opinion, they just feel more natural now because of it.
Okay.
Because I did remember when I had the Alpha 1, like it would bend in an unnatural position for my foot, and I would feel like the stiffness under the ball of my foot as I pushed off, which I didn't like.
Okay. Now, I guess my question for both of you that you can answer too is like, when I reviewed and was wearing the F50 Plus, right, with the little pods, I even told Colby that like the sensation that your foot is you naturally just like want to be on your toes, like how your foot sits, and like when you walk and then when you start running, it like naturally just tries to push you on your toes. Do you both kind of get that almost that equal sensation of like you want to be on your, not tiptoes, but like you want to be like going like forward motioned with your feet the whole time? Or do you not really have that because it's such like a flat sole plate? Like, am I explaining that well?
Yeah, no, you're making it. Matt, go ahead.
You definitely don't get like the sensation of being like rolled up on your toes. Like I'm sure the F50 Plus felt and like some of the Asics boots feel. But you do like, it's weird to explain, but like once you get on your toe, you just feel that extra like nimble. I don't know how else to say it. Like you know you're gonna be able to like push off harder. I don't know.
Okay.
That's the beauty of it, man. That's exactly what it is. It's like a good neutral sole plate, and then as soon as you have to make a sprint, it's just so ironic because like this is Nike's whole deal, right? Is that like oh we've got like the Zoom Air pocket, so like well you can kind of feel that like what is it, that energy return, and like that's more BS than like these, dude. Like when I get on my toes in these and I'm pushing off, it feels like not necessarily that I'm getting help, but that I'm able to push off of something that's able to like kind of keep my momentum going, which is like a really cool feeling. And it's, I don't know, it's like you can tell that they like really like tried and perfected these. Like it's, I don't know, dude, they're so good.
Yeah. I think it's crazy how like similar they look to the Alpha 1, but how like the like smallest of tweaks have changed this boot so much where like I have a completely different experience with these versus the Alpha 1.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's incredible to hear. So there's clearly no buyer's remorse as of now, like a weekend from either one of you. With the Buzz Lightyear colorway, are we both still loving it?
Yeah.
Are we happy?
Yeah.
We happy with the choice? Okay.
Yeah, it does have this like in person, this like iridescent shine, like finish that you don't really notice in pictures. And I kind of really like that.
Word. All right. Now, Colby, before I forget to ask you, is there anything about the boot that you would change if you could? As so far, I know you've only worn it a little bit.
Dude, that's hard to say because like the so the length is perfect, like absolutely perfect.
And you went half down also, right?
I went half down. Yeah,
Okay.
This fits basically like a Vapor in a 9.5, but this is like a Mizuno 9. I would say like, I don't even know, because like I feel like if you made it wider, you wouldn't feel as nimble, and it makes it kind of like a different boot experience. But like, if they could use like the alpha material and make a wider version, that'd be cool, like for people like me. But I mean, I fit into it fine. I think it's gonna not necessarily like stretch a ton, but it'll definitely mold.
Yeah. I would say it sounds like you need a boot that like can kind of like open enough, like it's like a cage that can open. Then you get your foot in, and then it morphs to your foot.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like this one's a little bit more structured.
Back
so
to
it's
the future style boot.
Yeah, it's gonna be like kind of predetermined. So you kind of have to get into it. But hey, man, I'm so glad for both of you. It sounds like you're both really enjoying the Alpha 2. Look at Colby's little giddy face.
Dude,
like
I know.
Kid on Christmas.
One bad game away from throwing them. No, I'm kidding.
I know.
I don't know. Like honestly, I have a very good feeling about these.
Oh, Matt, go ahead. I've got a question though.
No, I was just trying to think of like something bad, and like the only thing I could come up with is like so nitpicky, and it's like I wish they were like a millimeter or two longer.
Okay.
Which is like if they were any longer than like 2 millimeters, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like my toe is at the very top, and it's not like it's squishing into the top. It's like just like if someone measured my foot and then made this boot to that length, that's what these would be.
Okay.
But I think like maybe like to be able to fit like a piece of hair between the boot and my toe would be perfect.
Just a little breathing room. Not like suffocating, but just a little. Okay.
Yeah.
The final question I have for both of you before we move on. Now, you guys got these from Andrew in Japan. And so naturally the boot is cheaper. Even with shipping everything, I think you both saved probably like what? Let's say $7,500, okay? If you know what you know now, but the next pair you buy has to be at full retail. Do you think the boot is worth it and still like the best at that point? Because the full retail is like $320, $330. So, you know what you know, but like you can't get them from Andrew in Japan. You have to buy them from a certain retailer that will remain anonymous. But you got to pay full price. No discount codes, no nothing. You have to pay full price, everything. Is the boot still worth it?
Yes.
Oh,
because
wow.
you can't get this experience in any other boot. Like you can.
Yeah. I have a two-part answer. I think yes, they are worth it, but if I was in that scenario where I'd have to buy them, domestically from the United States, I would probably try the Elite version.
Okay.
And just see how that could. So if I find another colorway in this that I like and I want to get another pair, I might try the Elite version and
like
just
compare and
see
contrast.
how different. Yeah.
Cool.
Because I've heard it's not much different. To be honest, I heard it's more.
Is there zero glide all through the boot? Okay, then maybe the Elite would be
exactly.
Yeah, because that's
I've
honestly. Go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
I was just saying, even with the AG variation, apparently is even like less different than the FG when it comes to the Elite versus the MIJs. So
sometimes too with certain things, I think it's just kind of the bragging right that comes with it. You know what I mean? Like, just the MIJ, the little tag, it's just better. Like some people have like, I don't know, a car analogy, a Subaru WRX. And then some people got the Subaru WRX STI. Where it's like the WRX can do pretty much everything, but the STI just has that little bit more. And it's got the badge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
I mean, in my opinion, if you're getting a Mizuno, just get it made in Japan.
Yeah.
Just spend the extra money. But honestly, I think the only difference would probably be the durability.
Okay.
I think fit, feel, it's all going to be the same.
Yeah.
I think it's going to come down to just build quality between the two.
Do they have rivets? I'm sorry, before we move on. Last thing. Do they have rivets?
Nope.
No rivets.
It's
Okay.
just glue.
Just glue.
Dude.
Okay, cool.
But the dude, I will say this, like the zero glide. Like I think once people experience the zero glide, like all throughout, like I'll be curious to see how much I like going back to different boots. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Justin.
No, I was just gonna say you guys both sound like you've had a steak dinner and it's gonna be hard to go back to like taco.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like the first piece of technology in boots that actually like actively affect performance, and it's kind of like when Nike did not the Air Zoom, because I don't like the Air Zoom, but the what was the anatomical sole plate?
Yeah, on the Superfly 5.
Yes. I feel like it's like the first thing since that where people were like, oh shit, like this actually helps performance, and like you won't be able to get it in any other boot.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like locked into the specific boot to get that feel.
Very cool.
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, is there anything that you two want to talk about? This is a longer than usual episode.
We should talk about the Mizuno boots. We kind of skipped over those, the ones that may or may not be getting released tomorrow.
For sure. I don't know what the pack. You know better. You had a source.
I don't know what the pack name is.
Okay.
But it's essentially
it's silver with gold.
Silver with gold Mizuno pack.
Okay.
It's going to be the Morelia Neo Beta 4 and Morelia Neo 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the Alpha 2 and the Morelia DNA. We're getting another Morelia DNA.
Are we getting a Morelia 2?
That I'm not sure.
Okay.
I have not seen that, so I don't know.
Okay, cool. So the DNA. Are you getting it?
I'm getting a DNA, yeah. I'm doing it. I've already talked to Andrew.
Yeah,
let me know when they come out.
Yeah. So, and for people who don't know, the DNA is what? It's the Morelia...
The Neo sole plate, right?
Yep. Morelia 2 upper on the Neo 4 sole plate.
And the last DNA are those on Morelia 4 or Morelia 3?
3. Those were the 3, so this is now on the 4 sole plate.
Okay.
Sole plates are essentially the same. Apparently, the 4 sole plate's just a little bit stiffer.
Okay.
From what I've heard.
Cool. That would be a really cool boot, but I'm sure that it'll have a premium. It's going to be stupid limited because I think this is one of those boots that everybody who knows about Mizuno knows that kind of Great White Buffalo boot, and so everybody's going to be after that one, especially.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, this is like an instant buy.
Okay.
Mostly because like my Morelia M8s, my Morelia 2s with the cross stitch, as far as like quality, fit, feel, probably the best boots I own right now.
Okay.
With the only downside, which is a big downside because it kind of sucks, the sole plate on this boot, it's just so traditional, and it's just there's nothing exciting about it.
Yep.
So to then put this upper that I love and is fantastic on a sole plate that is also fantastic, I think is going to be the main difference for me. I think it's going to be awesome. And apparently the heel and then the overall fit is ever so slightly more narrow in comparison to the Morelia 2s.
Okay.
So that should also help, because I would say the only other complaint minus the sole plate would just be the heel is too wide for my heel, but I didn't have any issues with like slippage or anything like that, but just overall like width and fit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would wear them. It wouldn't just be to collect, like you're actually wearing.
Oh yeah,
You'd beat them. Okay.
Even the boots I get to collect, I at least wear a few times to get the feel. You know, you gotta enjoy them a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Love that. All right, cool. Well, I think that's it for today's episode, guys. This was a wonderful episode. Colby, you're gonna use your editing wizardry to fix whatever the heck happened.
So bad. Yeah.
And before you can get started on that, though, you need to let the people know where they can find you.
You guys can find me at Kicking with Kolbs on Instagram and on YouTube, where I have put my quota of 1 video for 2025.
Woo!
So see you in 2026, people.
Matt?
You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Burns Boots.
You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Texas Cleat Collector. You can find us on Instagram at BootcastPod. Let us know in the comments, what boots are you looking forward to? What's the best looking boot? What's the worst? If you've made it this far, did you manage to get the Great White Buffalo in the Morelia DNA? And as always, while you're down there, hit like, hit comment, hit subscribe, smash the bell. I don't know what else you have to do. Just help us out. We're trying to grow. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click down here to see more. Peace.